What was the adoption process like for you as prospective grandparents?
Well, we knew that it was going to be a long, tortuous process. I mean, we were quite excited because we wanted a grandchild, and we knew that this was the only we knew that our daughter had chosen this as her path for getting a child. But we were quite anxious for her because, again, there's lots of ups and downs, isn't there? And a long process. And, we knew that at times she'd be very happy and at times she'd be quite sad or in despair because it was taking so long. So obviously concerned for her, but we were quite excited ourselves, weren't we?
Yeah. I mean, understandably, we're not directly involved in the process, but you are excited, you want to know. But from the same perspective, you don't want to put pressure on what is already a pressurized situation by sort of wanting updates and things like that. So it's a bit frustrating, but that really doesn't matter because that's a necessary part of the process. But overall, excited, but if you pardon the expression, not wanting to seem excited in case you jinxed it, sort of thing.
Yeah. The kind of excited trepidation, really, I suppose.
Correct. Yeah.
That's completely understandable. How did you feel during introductions? So when your daughter went to go and meet your prospective grandchild, how did you feel during that time?
It was quite a chaotic time in the sense of it's a process which goes at sort of 5 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden the process is going at 120 miles an hour. And so it was excitement. Our daughter and her husband had to go out of the area for the introductions and spent time away. So we sort of held the fort with the home and their dogs, their 2 big dogs, and but yeah, it was helter skelter, very exciting, and pinching yourself that it might actually happen.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. They sent us photographs, didn't they?
Yeah.
While they were away at the introductions, they sent us photographs and everything, and that was lovely, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Because you felt, well, you were seeing this little girl for the first time and getting,
and a bit of again, there's just that feeling of trepidation, hoping nothing's going to go wrong at the 11th hour, sort of thing.
Yes, yeah.
But if you could bottle the enthusiasm. You could sell it, but you couldn't. Frustration was you couldn't show that enthusiasm for fear of other people being disappointed, you being disappointed. But a great feeling, although it's sort of you were always wondering. I hope nothing's going to go wrong. I hope nothing's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
So always kind of trying to ground yourself back in.
Yes, correct. That's it.
Yeah.
What was it like when your granddaughter came home? What was that like?
Well, we met her in a pub garden, didn't we, for the first time?
Yeah. Always a good place.
And it was great. I mean, she was just there. She was 18 months old. She was just running around as 18-month-olds do. Obviously it was a big thing for us, but obviously for her,
playing on the
nothing.
swings.
She was just
didn't seem to be phased or anything, and it was completely natural and surreal both at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, you sort of, you. It was quite funny, if I can just digress a bit. Because once you found out it was happening, and we're members of sort of National Trust, so we'd visit places, and we were at sort of a local arboretum, and we were like, we knew that we would be getting an 18-month-old, so we were sort of looking around the children in the playground, thinking, well, so what's an 18-month-old?
Yeah.
We even asked one woman, "Excuse me, how old is your daughter?" And we explained the situation. But she rocked up like a confident 18-month-old, and as if, what's all the fuss about, sort of thing.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, it sounds beautiful though. That sounds like
It was. Yeah. I mean, because I don't know whether I'm jumping ahead, but also as like sort of a potential adopted grandparent that that it might not be straightforward, and so you're sort of like preparing yourself for not just starting from zero, but starting from sort of minus 15 because of the problems that the little one might have been through, and then there was no problem at all. Yeah. Just no.
Yeah. Yes, it was easy, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. But you suddenly have this child who's already, in her case, 18 months old, and you've not had all that kind of history. So you're not sure what she likes doing, what she doesn't like doing, what she might like to eat, because you just literally, that's it. You've got to get on with it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So the second time we met was at we took her up to the pizza place. We had a pizza place at the time, and pizza and ice cream proved a big hit.
That was fine.
There you go.
perfect. Perfect. So you're kind of learning on the job, really, as grandparents.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What did you find easier than you anticipated? And was there anything that you found more difficult than you expected?
I found it really easy just to love her. Straight away. I love this little girl, and yes, I did find that just so easy.
It sounds.
There was no kind of like worry about I don't know whether I like her or anything like that. Yeah. No, I just did.
The bond was there straight away, even though it took obviously time to manifest itself as we got to know her and she got to know us. But the actual bond inside was there.
Yeah. It was just that kind of, I suppose, waiting to show it to her in different ways.
Correct. Yeah. I didn't want to overwhelm, not overwhelm with something like that. But I mean, it was quite funny as well because the development was two-way. Because our daughter asked, "How did we want to be known?" And Leslie said that Nana, and I said Grandpa Tony. And within the first month or so, I realised that was a big mistake because she'd probably be in high school before she could say Grandpa Tony. So she'd be saying everyone else's name. And in actual fact, mine was one of the first names she said because we were in Sainsbury's Cafe, and it wasn't long after we had her. And Leslie said, "Tony, she's shouting you, listen." And then she was going, "Pa, Pa, Pa," and called me Pa.
Yeah.
And I've been known as Pa ever since. Yeah.
Why?
So that was a great feeling.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry for me, it was a great feeling. Yeah.
When she's claimed you as her grandparent.
Yes.
And that's it now.
Yeah.
Oh, how lovely. In terms of difficult, was there anything more difficult than you anticipated, or?
I've got a pretty thick skin, so I have to be honest and say I don't suffer fools lightly. So if you had sort of people were suffering from ignorance about the process or about the relationship or whatever, I just sort of
it just washed over you.
Or told them what I thought.
I found it a bit more difficult than that because, and whether it's women speak more to each other than perhaps men do, I don't know.
Well, that's also true.
But I did find it quite difficult that people would sometimes say, "Oh, well, what sort of problems has she got? You never know, do you really?" And I found this quite a difficult thing to sort of respond to. And then other people would sort of say, "Well, what is her background? Why is she being adopted?"
Wow.
And you don't, because they're only being interested or curious or anything. But I was a bit, I didn't want to share. I mean, we didn't know, we don't know, we know some things about her, but not everything about her. And I didn't want to share it with people because people
part of the bond, part of the trust.
Yeah.
Someone that you came across referred to themselves as an adoptive grandparent, and I'm thinking, well, what the hell does that mean?
We're just
you're a grandparent, and that's it.
So I did find sometimes managing other people I was surprised. I was surprised at some of the things that people said,
Yeah.
mainly out of ignorance, really. You know, and I hadn't been prepared for that. You know, I just assumed everybody would be on the same page as me.
And I think I have to say, to sort of that it was out of ignorance. I don't think we came across anybody, or you can, who said anything out of malice.
No.
It was just pure ignorance.
Or curiosity.
Yeah.
But I mean, things like what is her background? That's a very personal, intimate
Correct.
question, isn't
Yeah.
it? And I suppose, and you can imagine that it puts you on the back foot a little bit of, well, how do I respond to this? Because I don't want to share her story, but I also don't want to be rude, and that must have been really
Yeah.
difficult.
Yes, yeah. And also, I didn't want, if I wasn't going to share, I didn't want them to think really bad things, because it is. There isn't anything really bad.
The thing that we shared most common was the fact that she was fostered from a day old and stayed with that foster mother for the 18 months, and that was the total beginning and end of what we shared. And if people wanted to know more, they weren't going to find out.
I think people have in their minds really bad stories about why children end up in the adoption world, and I think therefore they jump on that, and that's what they think it is for everybody. And obviously it's not. There are lots of reasons.
And again, it was in the minority of cases, but it did happen.
Yeah. It was the thing that,
and from friends that we wouldn't have expected to have come from.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't jeopardize a friendship or anything, but you just think, whoa, that came out of left field. I wouldn't have expected that question from you.
Yeah.
But as I said, they tend to direct their questions more at Leslie than me.
Yeah.
Oh, Leslie. So I guess really that would have been something to have had good forewarning of that could have happened. Not that I don't think it would have helped prepare you completely for those questions still, but it might have been a good thing to know in advance.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think so, definitely. For you to have actually kind of mulled over a little bit how you might react. You might not do when faced with it, but at least
you've had a thing.
Be given a heads up sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose for me, given that we are this will be you talking to family and friends of prospective adopters, what else do you think support networks should be preparing for? Because we will have spent time in the session talking about the process and children's attachment and emotions, but from people who've lived it, what key considerations do you think there are?
I mean, we've been so lucky on so many fronts, starting with the granddaughter herself has been so lovely and such a we've been through the terrible teas with her and that sort of thing, so but the relationship has been so strong. We've also been so lucky because our daughter and her husband have been so open in sharing the love around with her, and we've had lots of access to her. And we made when she was about 4, we made a decision consciously with her that her mum's old bedroom was now going to be redecorated and sorted out and was going to be her room, sort of thing, in the house. And that was really good because she was always comfortable and at ease, but once she had her own room, that all stopped. She went there, she slept all night in her own bed. We pick her up from nursery and school, and she'll go up into her room, get changed. She'll sometimes stay up there playing with one of her.
Wow.
And she was always at home. She always felt relaxed at home, at our home, but she feels at home, sort of thing. I think.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think. It wasn't hard to do, but I think we did really try to make her right from the beginning feel that this was as much her space as it was, obviously at our daughter and her husband, that this was also her home or her safe space and everything. So yes, yeah. I think you just have to be, you're aware that there may be problems in the future. There may be problems, but you just have to, think about those, but just go enjoy the actual process and the fact that you've got this little person in your life, and they're lovely, and they just need to be loved, and they just need to be made to feel secure and
I think
happy.
I think also we haven't faced
Yeah.
any difficult questions, but then again, she's only 5 at the moment, but we take our lead from our daughter in terms of if she starts asking questions, then what's the approach we should take?
Yes,
So
that we're on the same.
So
we're saying the same thing.
We're saying the same thing. Yeah. Well, just again, as a really minor aside, we've also taken on the raising a guide dog puppy, and we had to be very careful in introducing the fact that Stephen, that's the dog's name, is going to be with us for a time while we train him, and then he's going to go to his his full-time family, forever family, and he's going to help a visually impaired person. And we've shown her videos and whatever. I mean, it's hilarious seeing her and Stephen together. We think we love her, nothing compared to how Stephen loves her. We can't contain his excitement whenever she's around, can we?
No.
And,
yeah. But we didn't want to. If we wanted to understand that, I don't want her to think, "Oh, well, I'm here, then I might be going on somewhere else." I don't want her to think that. But we're not there yet.
We haven't had a problem, but
he's not gone yet.
Correct,
so,
but also we were just aware that we had to introduce it with a bit of thought.
Yes,
the topic with a bit of thought.
Yeah, so I suppose it's also kind of thinking about those different aspects, isn't it? What could potentially be a trigger.
Yeah.
You don't know, do you, I suppose, until you're in it.
Sometimes don't know what goes on in that little mind.
No.
Lots, I'm sure.
Yes.
Lots and lots. So I think, we've spoken about maybe needing to prepare ourselves that other people's opinion might not.
Yes.
To have conversations with our doctors about how would you approach this if you're asked, how would you do this, and to enjoy having the child and go with it. Have you got any other top tips for family and friends that are here today at all? Or
God, we just feel so blessed. Just enjoy the experience, and again, we've been so lucky with her. She's been so easy to love and be loved. But it's easy to say, but I firmly believe this, that we would have, it might have been difficult to get that, have a bond and a loving grandchild, but God, whatever it takes, it's worth it,
to stick in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Even if you're held to account, like again, an aside, just yesterday, she draws us pictures, and I'm a bit of a minimalist. I don't like clutter.
Okay.
So when she draws me a new picture, I put it on my board. I rip up the old one.
Out with the old and with the new. Yeah.
Unfortunately, she came in my office yesterday, and the old one was ripped in the bin. Oh, who did that? I said, I don't know. So she immediately got the paper out the bin, went halfway down the stairs and said, Nana, I need a word. We
need to talk about this.
So I immediately knew there was no place to hide, so I fessed up. And she was not happy. And
she wasn't.
It was even compounded by she wanted to see all the drawings that she'd done for Nana.
And I had them all.
And of course, Nana had them all.
See? Nana knows.
Yeah.
Nana knows.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. And no, I don't know what else to say. Just enjoy it, and just,
That's lovely. No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we don't spoil her, but we do and indulge her in the sense of we're both retired. We've got the time. when she's here, she's the centre of our world. And, you can't get around that fact. Well, having said that, she's not spoiled. She doesn't sort of always want things. If she falls over, she gets back up again and rubs herself down, and she's a hardy little thing, isn't she?
She is.
And we love her.
Yeah.
And that shines through. It really
Yeah.
does. And just, it's always a privilege to hear people's experiences. So thank you so much for sharing yours.